Hello, welcome back, Josh, Sam, and anyone else who's watching to Swindon Town FC, to Lviv and Let Die. It's been upwards of 3 or 4 days since I recorded the last video, and in that time I've entirely forgotten how to do everything that I've ever done before. So welcome back. It's been a busy little summer and it's still ongoing, but we have a Super Cup game to play, because obviously we do. I have to play Karpaty, and then we will also play Volyn in our league games. Sadly for everyone involved, Odessa have rejoined the Premier League, and I think who's the other team? Stal Olszewsk, who were up here once for one season a little while back. There it was. I don't know what happened there. I think they did actually. I did check that out, and I'm 98% sure that they went up and came back down again immediately. So yeah, they've been around. But the thing that Sam is particularly interested in, I'm sure, is the transfers. So let's see what's going on. And we've made some money and we've sold some players, unfortunately. So you'll remember... Wait, which one of these things actually happened this year? 2868. Okay, so we sold Stefan Barshan, an excellent player if ever there was one, but we could only get 3.9 million for him. And he didn't really play that well in our team. I don't quite know why. He's excellent. Can't argue with that. Then Kostadin Nikolov has left, £1 million to Krasnodar in the Russian Premier League. A good little player, did well for us in a couple of seasons he was here, but we've got better players now, sorry. Then Igor Ondrejka has gone on loan to Olympic Donetsk in the Ukrainian Premier League. We sold Wojtek Labant for 3.2 million, because look, he's not worth that much money, to Al Sadd. He tried to join Newcastle, but he considered their offer risible. So he's instead gone to Al Sadd, which I assume is in Qatar. Yes, it is. Boaki finally left. Vladimir Petrenko has gone on a free to Chernomorets, so good luck to him. He's got a cap. Amazing. Alexander Romanov, with his excellent name, has left, losing us £50,000, but that's not that bad. They can't all make us money. Similarly, Gabor Logo has gone off to Olympic Donetsk as well, so they've signed another player off of us. Another player that we lost some money on, although we did make, I'm pretty sure at least one of these loans was with money involved, so because it doesn't tell you, or maybe it does tell you and they weren't. Some of the loans that I've had players going out on have been moneyed. I know on Sam's game it definitely does mention it. Alright, well, I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I think we made up some of the money on him. Then there was Petr Blazek, who is a right back, who's also not done very well for us. I thought he was going to come on a little bit more, but hasn't really improved at all. There we go. Then we sold Jirius Black. I've missed one. I'll go back. We sold Jirius Black for £200,000 to Jablonsk. Well, he was on loan at Jablonec, and now he's gone to Liberec. So good. Well done him. We sold Marek Lesko for £4 million to Slovan Bratislava, because he's just not going to get the game time that he needs to develop, so why not make some money on him now? And we sold Santi for £1.5 million. He's a good player, really, but wasn't settling, wasn't doing well for us, and sent him off to Eibar, back to Spain, after a little sojourn to Lviv, and we made some money on him, so that's good. I did Adam Blazek, didn't I? Yes. No, Adam Blazek, right back, with some potential, I think. Sold him for £1.8 million to Victoria Pilsen, making some profit on him. But again, we've got some good players in those positions now, and I just don't see that we're actually going to be able to let him progress. We don't play enough games for that. Speaking of, Rafa Pavez, a player that I thought was going to be quite good, signed him for £80,000, had a relatively good loan at Odessa, but then stalled and has gone now to Alanya in the Russian First Division. For free, then we sold Uros Handanovic for a fee that could potentially rise to 1.5 million, depending on some goals he scores, I think. But in the meantime, we at least bagged our £950,000. He played for Sheffield United once, on loan from Recreativo. Wow, weird. Anyway, he was a good servant for the club. Last season, a little less impressive, but still got a good rating, and he won us many things, so he will always be remembered. But yeah, at 30 years of age, he's getting a bit old and taking places in the team for potentially developing players. And then we sold Juraj Belan, or Yuri Belan. We made I'm sure that those two loans, or at least that loan, had money involved with it. So I think we got more money back than we actually did. But again, it's impossible to tell now. Anyway, yeah, so that's the outs, totaling 16.75 million, and these are the ins. The question is, does this entirely capture who we brought? There might have been one or two players who... Oh, no, that's not true at all. I was going to say there might have been some players who joined who joined before the cut-off date here, but no, apparently not. So one of them is Dimba, a young 18-year-old Brazilian striker who will be in the first team in an attempt to improve himself. He's already working on his composure because his finishing is 19, but his composure is only 13. Then really, I guess you sort of want him to work on his physical stats because he's never going to be good in the air despite being 6 foot. Then there's Haris Planinsek, who has gone straight into the under-21s. He's another striker who actually has some potential. Hopefully he'll be able to sort of progress a little bit down there, and then we can maybe bring him into the first team eventually. And then there's Santiago Mia with the same intentions. Came in for £600,000. He's a very good goalkeeper. Both-footed, looks to have all the stats in the right place if he just continues to improve. So hopefully he'll get that opportunity in the youth team. I've missed one again. But anyway, we got in Jimmy Rogers, who's an excellent right back from Hearts for free. So that's an excellent signing. Jimmy Rogers, probably our starting right back now. We've also signed... Oh, no, I did do him. Sorry. I missed it's Jean Kamara that I'm trying to get hold of. Jean Kamara, who's also a right back, but can play left back. He came in for free as well. So we're settled for right backs and left backs now. Then there was Thomas Nemec, who will go straight into the reserve team. I think I signed him when he was 16. And he's not as good as I thought he was going to be. It doesn't mean that we won't make some money on him, or at least make some money on him. And then a midfield option as well. Farid Henrad has come in here with the intention of being a midfieldery optionary thing. So let's see what he's training on. He's training on his tackling, which is only 7. That makes sense. Good. So I'm also in the lookout because we are potentially attempting to cash in on... trying to cash in on Juan Carlos Gonzalez, because he's worth a lot of money and he's excellent, but we only have 1 year left of him and he's definitely not going to re-sign. So I've put him out and we're trying to get close to £10 million for him. If he does do that, then we'll try and bring in another centre-back. We do have a couple of decent options in the youth team and what have you. So it's not the biggest concern in the world. Oh, in fact, you know what? There you go. Guys, Gonzalez has left for £9.75 million. What a player he was for us. His wage has increased by an astronomical amount. He's an excellent player, right? We made a lot of money on him in developing him into a first-team player for us. He was excellent, came in from Wanderers, and he's now surely going to go on and have a stellar career because he's only 24 years old. He's just so good, and like we could have kept him for another year, but realistically, he's so good in this league that you could get someone who's half as good as him, and they would still do well, and we can make some money on him because I didn't want to let him go for free. So there we go. And I'm also trying to sell Bulgarian Vangel because we have plenty of right midfield options. Because we also got in that Cypriot winger who will now be starting all the time. So we're trying to get rid of Bulgarian Vangel because I think Bakur can be the backup. Which means that we do have in the bank for spendings about £10 million and also an insane amount of wage budget. So the intention now is to go out, maybe find a good striker, definitely get a couple of prospects for defence, if not, and just basically do a little bit like I did a couple of years ago where I farmed in every single young player in Southern America and Eastern Europe. So this is another option on the left midfield that I'm thinking about bringing in. His creativity is not brilliant, which I guess is because maybe his passing's not great. But that's the thing that we'll be working on if we sign him. He's going to be for, what was it, £800,000? Yeah, I think we can probably stretch to that. We don't need to pay that much though, friend. Let's say no. if you get that many goals, which you won't, because you're a winger. And yes, okay, let's see. Well, actually, no, we'll leave you in with £6.5 million. I think that's fair. £10,500. Oh, yes, okay. Right, so we've got ourselves a new left winger. He'll join eventually, but not in time for this game, methinks. And yeah, so now we're going to play Karpaty Lviv in the Ukrainian Super Cup with, I think it would now be heading into our 4th season in a row in trying to win it. Okay, sorry, I didn't realise that doing all that stuff would generate quite so many responses before the game. Oh no, Nancy Lorraine have gone in for him anyway. Well, I suppose the one good thing is I've no idea how to say his name. Hebert is a player, or Herbert is what I will be calling him. He's a defensive midfielder who I might be signing for £1.1 million, or 1.3 as it turns out. Yes, let's just agree it. So otherwise, Vittorio Guimaraes will try and take him. This is another player of ours who I'm just going to let go. He's no good. So yeah, off you go, son. Enjoy your time back in the Czechs. Oh no, we're going to have our bid gazumped by Nancy Lorraine. Nancy Lorraine. Zykov Park refuses to win any kind of Champions Cup bid. It's a big shame. Will you let us play this game? For goodness sake. I mean, email mail, I mean, like sitting in my office, tip-tapping away on emails until like 5 minutes before the game. Where's my secretary? Why isn't Football Manager called Football Manager Secretary Manager? It would be a much worse game if all you did was answer the emails. But then it would be a much better game if all you did was pick the team. Actually, that's not true. I do like sitting and like trawling through countless teenage children to try and find the one that's going to make your club loads of money in the future. Yeah. I do often think sometimes when you stumble across, so for example, when I stumbled across Rosic and found that he was running on a free contract that I could sign him for, and I was like, oh yes, I know that he's going to score the goals that's going to win me stuff. I know that in the future I'm going to be like, I love this guy, he's a legend, and it's come to be. Then sometimes you do that with other players, and you think, I know this guy's going to be he's going to be the cog, the final cog in the machine, and then it turns out that they are just an absolute mug. Oh my god! Right, let's keep our eyes open to see if we lost out on that fella. Where's he gone? Oh no, it's all going to be reports now. Okay, sorry, I have to. Fucking hell. So the other thing I'm trying to think about doing is buying players off of our local rivals to get a second centre back. You can see there that we have this Blas Gonzalez in our backroom team, and by backroom team I mean under 21s. Who he's going to be the backup centre back. I'm not paying 2.4 million to a league rival for someone who's not that good. This guy here, Miguel Angel Olaizola, he's good. He's bad at composuring, but he does seem like. But he's free, and he's supposed to be better than Koulibaly. I mean, he's similar to Koulibaly. He's much better technically and speedily. What do we think? He's only 24. I could get him on a free and then probably sell him. What would he want? £21,000. What about if I said not that? What about if I said not that? You're fucking kidding me, mate. Come on. What about if I said you don't need £2,000 every time you play? And for £500,000, let's see, this is the problem with these players. £500,000 just to sign in on fee. No, thank you, son. We don't have the money for that. This is another guy, £300,000 for him. He's supposed to be less good than Mick. And he is. So no, I won't be spinding you for £300,000. Sorry, mate. What about this guy? So he's actually supposed to be okay as well. 1.4 million though, mate. Come on. Oh, you're all just awful people. £600,000 for Arta Belanga. I mean, he's got the raw. He's got the raw stats that you want: speed and attacking. Actually, he's not bad. How much is he going to be? 800 or 600. Okay, let's get him in then. I think we can probably afford him, and I think it makes sense. Let's go slightly higher than what they think they'll want, so that we can get him more. And then there's this other guy, Gonzalez. I noticed him, so he's actually worth quite a lot of money. I mean, he's really good. He's just a good rounded player, and I mean, there's no chance that we'll be able to get a hold of him for less than an insane amount of money. Right, can we please play the game now? Sorry, that was a. Okay, here we go. Right, so we've actually got a much better record against Karpaty than I think in my head we do. We've got a lot more points against them. So now we're going to play them in the Super Cup. Let's just quickly click on the Super Cup and see who the past winners are, because that's us in 3 years in a row. Let's try and make it 4 and beat our rival. They haven't won it. Full stop. They did get to the final once, but we have actually won it 3 times, so we are the best team in Lviv as far as the Super Cup is concerned. So let's see what the team is going to look like. We do have an unfortunate injury to Daniel Rosic. He's out for 4 days, sorry. So he will not be able to start the season, so it will be our current strike partnership of Borovkov and Koulibaly. We have Laspada, who came in last season, who is pretty okay, but slow, so he's more of a Koulibaly replacement. And we have a Dimba, who's good the other way, so he's a bit more of a Borovkov replacement. Actually, is he even better than Borovkov already? I think he probably is. Dimba's better, right? So there you go, then Dimba will start. Bing, bang, bong. Sorry, Borovkov. Then we have the rest of the team, so it's going to look like this. You're going to start with Twumasi at the moment on the left, although we might have that Johnson guy. We'll have Golovchenko today, just because he's Ukrainian. Then there's Farid Enrar. He's going to play in our midfield there, but we're going to have Ronnie Vera as the backup. And then there's Kostas Panagiotou, so we need to go Karis. He's charismatic, but I don't want to call him that. It's lame. He speaks Greek. He's Cypriot. He likes Omnoia. What can we do for a nickname? His name is Panagiotou. What about Panda Go To? Oh, the T doesn't. Panda Go To. Okay, Panda Go To. There we go. So there's Panda Go To on the right. And then at the back, we're going to play Jimmy Rogers, Blas Gonzalez, who, for your information, looks like this. Pretty decent. For an 18-year-old at least. Then Big George and Mick, Milan Juric on the left, and we'll have Eddie Chang and Jean Kamara as our backup options. This is why we need an extra centre-back, so that's definitely top of my list. Although we do still have a couple of players in the youth team who could play as the centre-back option, the third centre-back option. It really kind of depends on how well Gonzalez starts off doing, because I feel like he could just be another of the other, just like the other Gonzalez that we've just lost. If he progresses, and what we need to do is just find a backup in the vein of that Moldovan centre back we had. So let's see then. Quite a lot of players making their debut for the club here. I've kept Anicic in goal just so that we have a little bit of consistency in certain places. But yeah, unfortunately no Rosic, so he can't keep up his run in this competition. Famuliak hits wide. They have their first chance of the season, goes to Karpaty. But we are aiming to retain our title in every single competition that we can. Let's hope we can do. Having said that, I'm sounding quite confident, and I feel like because of the changes, we might not be anywhere. Well, I mean, we won't be anywhere near as dominant as we were last season, because our defence is weakened. I'd say that our midfield is strengthened and our attack is slightly weakened in our options at the moment. I'm trying to work on that too. So yeah, we're better in certain places and less good in other places. To what extent you can actually measure those things, I don't know how much weakened we are in attack, for example, because we still have Koulibaly and Rosic, who both got 20 goals each. So, there's that. Right, now then. 8 minutes gone. We haven't had a shot, at least not in terms of ones that we've seen. Oh, here we go. Dimba puts the ball in the middle. Big Georgian Mick heads over. Unfortunate. We now have had 2 because we had apparently taken 1 shot, which we didn't see. Okay, here we go. Enrad shoots. We're going to have to just call him Henrad. I know that it's not how you would say it, but I'm saying it because it's going to sound disgusting if I keep trying to pronounce Henrad. Eduardo. Pajic. Oh, Anicic saves. Nicely done. Juric now with the ball. So with these extra leagues that are now in the game, I did spend a bit of time scouting the Serbian divisions and the Romanian divisions for players, but unlucky, good save. But yeah, so far I've not found any gems. I found a few players that could probably make our first team. Panda puts the ball in the middle. Dimba fouls. Okay, to the fury of the Karpaty fans. Yeah, I found a few players who were like decent and might make our team, but who would all be worth about £6 million. So I thought, well, no, thanks, fellas. I'm not spending all that money. Dimba scores his first goal for the club. Come on, Dimba. There we go. That's what we like to see. He gets a foul which angers the fans on the other team, and then he turns around and scores his first goal for the club. Dimba. Yes. Dimba, number 38. Smashes the ball high into the box. Lovely stuff. Oh, that's what we like to see. An assist from Henrad. It's going to be impossible for me to even say the name that I said I'd say because I can't say the other one properly. Anyway, Henrad has the ball, working on his tackling. That's excellent stuff. Toumasi out to Koulibaly. Koulibaly with the ball. Koulibaly forces the ball under Angelov. Just pure fury with the which he scored that goal. Angelov really should have done better there, but we are 2-0 up, and this is our cup, boys and girls. This is our cup. It is super, and we are super Lviv. Koulibaly just smashes the ball low. Angelov is like, oh no, so far down. Famuliak. Juric clears. The one concern is if we lose Juric, or not the one concern, but one big concern is if we were to lose Juric this season. He's still too young to, and there's something with our reputation which means that clubs are still not willing to pay upwards, like the amount of money that I would be willing to sell him for. Like if I had my way, I wouldn't have sold Gonzalez for less than 15 million, but we're just not in the position as a club where we can actually demand that sort of money. And we do need the 10 million. And the same with Juric. Juric is not, he's not worth 30. Oh, Eduardo scores. He's not worth 30 million, but considering we are not a big club, we can't even ask for 10. And I feel like he's at least a 10 million pound player. The same with that Stefan Barshan, for example, right? He is definitely worth like 15, 20 million pounds. It's just we can't force clubs to give us that. Right, Henrad's going to come off for Ronnie Vera, and we don't have a left mid, so left midfield, that's why we need that other guy. We're going to bring on Bakur, who's going to have to just do his best out there. Sorry, Ladkur. Anyway, it's still 2-1, but I don't want to have injuries in our first game, hence I'm taking those 2 chaps off. Ronnie Vera has had a lot of interest in him this summer, so that's why I haven't been selling him, also because he's pretty good. Vera now with the ball, Golovchenko to Vera. Vera puts the ball out to Juric nicely. Golovchenko and Juric picking up where they left off last season. Koulibaly has the ball again, and his shot goes straight into Angelov's hands, although to be fair, that's a dangerous situation for Lviv, as it seems. Juric with a huge ball out to the right there to Rogers, to Golovchenko now, to Dimba. Dimba turns, gives it to Vera. Vera puts through to Koulibaly. Unfortunately, Koulibaly was offside. It looks like he might have more confidence than he did through that little barren spell that he had last season. His goal already speaks to that, which is good. Olofsson, Bakur at the back post manages to hack it away. It's 63 minutes and them putting pressure on us. Oh, it's a nice ball through to Eduardo. Excellent save from Anicic, but unfortunately Eduardo was offside. So it is all for naught. Anicic to Rogers. Lovely stuff. Panda go to. Koulibaly has it. Big left. Oh, Dimba. Oh, unlucky. Lovely play from him there. He went past 2. Panda go to. Pandagotu puts the ball in the middle. Dimba's still badgering away there. Right, let's see what we can do to keep things ticking over. Let's have Eddie Chan come on for Rogers. We don't want to lose Rogers. No, let's not do that. Let's have Manuel Alvear come on for Golovchenko because we don't want Golovchenko to get sent off. Golovchenko. Angelov now puts the ball into the middle of the park. Oh, that was ambitious from Todoran. I didn't check their squad actually. This is a game where you don't have to worry about Ukrainian players. So I wonder whether they actually did play any young players. Alvear, huge ball out to Pandagotu. Oh, we see that. Is it Koulibaly injured? He's picked up a knock anyway. Juric puts the ball through to Bako. Bako goes for a long-range effort that he can't have connected to properly because it sort of trickled off the pitch at the end there. Okay, Eduardo. Alvear. Oh. I mean, they get into positions. Actually, I mean, it happens quite a lot in the Ukrainian league that the other team gets into relatively good positions. It's just helped by the fact that they're all incompetent. Dimba has forced off one of their players. Oh, a fun thing is I think this... Oh, lovely bit of play. Pandagotu, come on. One fun thing is I think this game's been played at Karpaty Stadium. Bako's now on the ball. He's not going to be able to cross it very well, is he? I did get it in the middle eventually, but then... Yeah, well, he's running on his wrong side. That's normal. Dimba with the ball in the middle. Oh, Famoliak. Rogers has it, wins it. Big Mick fouls Kasalovic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is in their stadium. Because this cup like moves around, but not like once every year. It just sort of moves around almost entirely randomly. Dimba puts the ball in the middle. Oh, unlucky. Now Juric collects. Can he put the ball in for one of our players to attack? No. Kasalovic puts the ball up. Oh no, Memic. Oh, Big Mick. Uh-oh. Even though he wasn't the last man, the game might think he was. Is he going off? I think that's surely a yellow card. Yeah, yellow card. Okay, we're fine then. And now he doesn't bother rejoining the... Centre-back doesn't bother going back to defend. It stands on the edge of the box waiting for the release. Anicic wasting time like an absolute pro. There we go. Big ball up to Dimba. Alvear has it. Koulibaly heads it onto Dimba. Can Dimba... Oh, he's not quite quick enough. Vera with the ball. Vera shoots. Oh, I don't know if you remember, but last season... Oh, you probably do because it was only the last video you watched. But Vera scored a couple of long-range screamers. Our reputation is still low enough that we should be losing to Karpaty, at least in the game's eyes, all the time. So, yeah, we won the cup again. That is the 4th year in a row. Koulibaly and Dimba scoring our goals in a nice few minutes in the first half. Excellent stuff. Yes, it was in the Lviv Arena, which I'm pretty sure is Karpaty's ground. Oh no, they seem to... Oh, they play in Ukraine now, which is the stadium that we used to play in. Yeah, they play in that stadium. Okay, well, I don't know what the hell the Lviv Arena is then. Why can't we play in the Lviv Arena instead in like a random fucking village 300 miles away? Anyway, Lviv, 4th winners in a row for the Ukrainian Super Cup. It's very much our cup now, and I'm very happy. We got our 28k. Consecutive Super Cup wins have got the things, the fans jubilant, of course. Lviv won it again because we're the best. Karpaty defeated, ha ha ha. Dimba made his debut, scored a goal, lovely stuff. Karpatic spotted at the Lviv Arena. Their boss is not my biggest fan, which is fine. Man City have signed him. Sheffield United have signed him from Dagenham and Redbridge. And they have signed Per Mal. Now, I'm not sure if I should do a second game, mainly because I've got a lot of signings and work to do. We do have the Champions League qualifiers. My thought was that I will just play until I get to a game where there's some jeopardy. Because I don't see the point of recording a doubleheader against a really easy team, like last year when we played that Ankara Gliblici, and we battered them. And then we played the two-legged the final qualifying leg was quite fun. So I think that's probably where we'll be next recording the games around the qualifying legs for the Champions League. So it's been fun. There'll be some new signings to discuss in that one as well, no doubt. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.